So, you finally found this job that you've been dreaming of getting, and after thorough interviews, you've been given the offer. But your employer instead counters the offer with maybe a higher salary or a bigger promotion. So, what you need to ask yourself, why was I looking for a job in the first place? And how is this offer my current employer giving me better than what I would have gotten if I went out there? And furthermore, is this something that I really asked for and they denied me? Then now, after I have resigned, they have my attention and they still want to retain me. Those are the things that you really need to consider when taking or rejecting a counter offer. Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this amazing channel. My name is Lady Chenster. I talk about matters related to the corporate workplace and career talks every Wednesday at 1 p.m. So please join this family by subscribing and hitting the red button so that we grow together and we become better employees and colleagues in the industry. So today's video is all about whether to accept a counter offer or not to. So stay tuned, watch the video up to the end, and also give it a thumbs up and let me know your opinion and whether you've ever been given a counter offer and how did it turn for you in the comment section. I have to start by mentioning that counter offers are not for everyone. There are some toxic employees who, when they submit their resignation letter, then the employer just leaves them. They were waiting for a chance to let them go because they were not of any value to the organization, or probably they had become redundant. However, in other cases, we have an employee who is very valuable because of the production and the benefit the company is gaining from him or her. Also, the cost of hiring is very expensive and it is time consuming. Over and above that, if one person resigns, it motivates other employees to start resigning, and the boss's mark as the head of your department will be at stake if people start resigning anyhowly. So no leader would want to lose a member of the team, first of all because of his position. And most of these bosses, one of their key performance indexes is employee retention. So if people leave, it means their reputation is also questioned and how they are handling their employees. So they may want to retain you, not because you are a valuable employee, but because of their selfish interest. Again, it is time consuming, noting that someone who is resigning will rarely be a junior employee. These are people who've stayed in the organization maybe for 1 year and above. So they know all the processes, they understand the procedures, they understand the product, and they understand the customers. So the time it will take to get a replacement, to train them so that they get to where the current employee is, may be quite tedious and long. So to avoid all that hassle, your employer may decide to retain you on that basis. Another reason they may choose to retain you is because of the skill set you have. Probably when you join this organization, they paid for you professional papers you've now completed. So instead of you utilizing the professional skill set you got during the training in this organization, they feel you're taking it somewhere else, and we may have to incur another cost to train another employee professionally. So instead of all that, why don't we retain this employee? I would suggest that before you even think of taking a counter offer, you evaluate the reasons for you wanting a new job. Maybe your boss is very toxic, or the work environment is just unbearable. It is not giving you family time. It is taking a nerve on you. You dread going to work every day, and the job itself is not satisfying. It may be a job that is just giving you a salary, but it is not in line with the career you want to pursue. So you're considering pursuing something that is in line with what you studied. Probably you're looking for a bigger paycheck because what you're currently earning is not sufficient for you. Or maybe you're considering moving into a different continent, or you want to go back to your home country. So people really resign because of various reasons. And you need to know which is the key thing for you. Because if it was about the toxic boss and you're given a higher pay, Will you still tolerate that boss at the expense of a higher salary? Of course, I would recommend no. The only time you need to consider taking a counter offer is when money was the issue, or probably you didn't have a reason to resign. You didn't want to leave this organization. Only that an opportunity to be interviewed availed yourself and you became successful, even when you had not planned for it. Or you're considering a career growth from maybe a junior level to a senior level, and your employer has offered this. Those are the only chances you should consider the counter offer, or if the counter is way much better compared to the new offer you've gotten. It is said that grass is not always greener on the other side. It just be you are not watering wherever you are enough. It may even be drier on the other end. So you may get this good looking job with a very nice title, but it is a drier grass, drier bones compared to where you are currently in. They may be giving you a higher salary than what you're currently getting, but other benefits are nowhere. Maybe they don't have medical benefits, or the benefits are lower compared to what you're getting. Maybe they're offering medical benefit for one person, yet you have a spouse and children who needs to be included in the medical cover. Probably the pension benefit on the other end is 5%, but with your current employer, they are contributing for you a pension benefit of 10%. Probably in your current place, you work Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. In your new place, you'll be required to work even on weekdays. Even on weekends. You are required to work maybe from 7 to 6 p.m. and at times you're even required to extend up to 8 p.m. Probably you are currently having a work from home policy. But in the new offer, you have to work Monday to Saturday. And probably at times you may even have to be sent to different regions. You need to consider, what are their WIBA limits? What are your group personal accident benefits? Remember, this is all about the corporate people. It's not just the kawaida, casual employees. You also need to consider, how many leave days do I have in 1 year? Maybe you're given 50 and here you are given 30. Probably your children are paid for the school fees in this organization, in the other organization. Are they matching? So before you completely decide to go and your employer gives you this counter offer, you need to properly evaluate your new job, and all the benefits have to outweigh your current benefits. Benefits are not just about salary. It also depends with the flexibility. You might be a family person who is known that they cannot be sent outside their home country. But in your new organization, probably it's an NGO. You will be required to go to different countries every now and then. It is in an international company. They have branches in various countries. You're going there as a head. So every once in a month, you'll be required to go out. Are you willing to compromise on that time? So evaluate your job very well, and it has to be so good that your current employer cannot match all those things that I've spoke about. You also need to check on the stability of your organization. Is it a company that is likely to shut down anytime? Is it an upcoming company? We have had media services. A radio station comes up, or a TV station. They are looking for people who are already known in the industry, and so they promise a higher paycheck. Some even give a true example. A local show was opened and they poached people from a particular media service, and the new employees were promised 300% the salaries they were earning. And the salary was offered for the first 6 months. After 6 months, they could no longer be paid that amount, leave alone what they were getting the previous place. They were not paid anything because this new media service didn't have a good financial standing. So as you look to pursue another opportunity, you need to know how stable is this company. Because again, when retrenchment comes, the people who are most likely to be fired or to be declared redundant are the newly employed people, or people who've been there for so long and they are earning huge chunks of money. And how is the financial base of your current organization compared to the new? If this is just a job you are not sure about, is an upcoming organization which is not well established, well, it is very easy to grow in a small organization, but you also don't want to risk the stability. You may be in an organization that you know, if it doesn't perform this year, for the last 20 years, it has been performing well. It has been paying bonuses to the employees. So your salary may be maybe 10,000 less compared to what you're going to get in the new organization. But at the end of the year, they usually give you like 3 months bonus payment. These are organizations that will take you out. They don't mind spending. They'll be giving you maybe bashes every month, so you don't have to spend all your amount on alcohol every other weekend. So it is good to consider this counter offer. Is it so good compared to what I'm going to throw myself in? It is better to have a devil that you already know, that you've managed to survive for the entire time you've been in this organization, compared to an angel in a different organization that you may not know. However, you will not grow if you don't risk. So at times it calls for you to just take the risk. It may be an upcoming organization and you're going there as a CEO. So it is you to go and make it grow. It is your input that will scale it higher. So do not also be afraid of risking, even when you don't know what exactly you're going to expect. Whenever you submit your resignation letter, you already declare your intention to leave this organization. So the first thing that comes into the mind of your employer is you are not a loyal person. And they may know that at the back of their mind and they do not want to show you. So instead, they gave you a counter offer to buy more time to get a replacement, because you have declared your intentions to leave in the first place. And they cannot contain you. You know, it's a free will. Willing buyer, willing seller. If you're willing to go, no matter what I do, you will still want to go. In fact, research shows that majority of the employees who are given counter offers will still go after 1 or 2 years, or even after 6 months, because they have wanted to go all along. At times, during the performance appraisals done in the mid-year or at the end of the year, you'll find an employee requesting the boss to give them a particular point so that their salary can be increased, or maybe they can be promoted. But these bosses will keep telling you, you know, you cannot get these marks. You know, we cannot make you a senior person. The company is not doing so well, so we are not considering increasing employee salary. But the moment you table this resignation letter and they realize, wow, so she meant it when she said she needed more money and we didn't offer it, now they come giving it more. Actually, the counter offer is usually what you are getting in the new organization and some amount like 10,000 or 20,000 above that. And if you want a higher position, they may create it for you because they are afraid of losing you. In that case, you ask yourself, must I push to get what I really want? Why is it that you did not offer me what I requested for in the first place? Is it something you're also likely to take away from me? And at times, these are just empty promises. You may be told that, give us more time because we are reviewing our titles in the next 3 or 4 months. You decide to stay with the hope that something good will come. Then nothing happens. Sometimes people submit their resignation letters and they are told, we are going to give you this and this. Then their last working day comes and the employer has not yet honored what they promised. And that's the reason I said, whenever you get a new job, even before you think about submitting your resignation, accept the offer. Then if you are accounted and you are comfortable with it, you can reject the new offer, but always make sure you had already secured it. Before accepting a counter offer, you need to evaluate the benefits of a new opportunity. Because a new position gives you a different exposure. When you've been into many organizations, even becoming a CEO or a managing director or the head of something is easy because you've been to various cultures. You may be working in a local, let me use the example of Kenya. You may be working in an organization that is led by Kikuyus only. Then you are transferred to Kisumu, where you have to work with Luos, or you go to work with the Indians. You go to work with the Taitas or the coastal people who do not have a hurry in doing things. So, exploring a new opportunity gives that benefit of having been exposed to many things and to different cultures, which will help you when you become a leader. Most people who keep on shifting to small organizations and hip-hopping from one job to the other is mostly junior people who are looking to get into senior levels. But once you get to the senior level, the management or executive level, you will be forced to stick to one organization for maybe 10 or 15 years. Because you are the key person, you are a key man or woman in this organization, you are the person driving it to another level. So your input is way much needed compared to the need for a junior employee. Also, a new opportunity gives you the benefit of interacting with different people. You get those people skills by learning different people operate different ways, or the procedures I'm used to in company A are totally different in the procedures followed at company B, but the end product is more or less the same. So we can use this route or we can use this route to get to where we want to go or to make the organization profitable. Getting a new opportunity also exposes you to different markets. You may be used to one particular product and service, but in this new organization, as much as it is in line with your industry, you are getting to understand more products. You have more knowledge on matters relating to various services that you can offer. You are even able to diverse to not just what you know, but to other possible opportunities that may come your way. So this new opportunity also gives you a higher chance of career growth compared to what you may be having when you take up the counter offer. Because they often increase the salary or they change the title, but you're just doing the same job. You only know the skill set you have are not increasing. If you move to that new organization, then your career growth is likely to be very fast. Because if I was a hiring manager, I'll be looking at, okay, you stayed in this organization for 2 years, you stayed in this other organization for 3 years, you stayed for company C for 4 years. So cumulatively, you have 7 years of experience. And we may have someone else who worked in one organization for 15 years or 20 years. So they know nothing else. They only know about that organization. So they may be having a long, wrong experience because they've not been exposed. Moving to various organizations gives you a competitive advantage. However, not moving after every 6 months, at least you should give yourself maybe 1 year or 2 years before you consider changing your organization. Because also, if I look at your CV and I realize after 3 months, she's in a new organization. After 1 year, the longest she's ever been into any organization is 1 year and 2 months. So this is not a royal employee. I do not want to keep on hiring. So I would not consider hiring this person on that ground. So make sure as you move around, as much as I do not advocate for counter offers, you're taking your time in an organization. Don't just hip hop blindly, as much as that one enhances a faster growth. Because every time you move, there's an increase in salary. Staying in one organization, increase in salary is only bound to happen at the end of the year, and it is purely based on the company making profits and the shareholders deciding they want to give employees an increment. At times, it may be just a cost of living adjustment. And it is not proportional to the market rates, because tokens have increased maybe by 10% and you've gotten a 7% increment. Has that really increased in par with the cost of living? Of course, no. So be careful when moving to a new organization, and also when accepting that counter offer. We have circumstances in which you cannot accept a counter offer. These are one of the reasons being you wanted to resign because your boss is a mess. He's been exploiting you to the core. He's been unappreciative of what you have to offer to the organization. Probably you are harassed sexually. Your health is at risk because of this nature of the job you're doing. Office politics are too much because the organization is affiliated to a particular person. So it's like you worship this guy, which most of the times is not professional, because you have to bend some rules to accommodate their nonsense or the bullshit they have to offer. Or if they are corrupt and probably they are not even filing the returns, they deduct your pay, then they do not submit to KRA, they don't pay for you NHIF, they don't pay for you NSSF. Even if you are to be given a higher salary, you will not change who your boss is. We don't say the reason we are resigning. We sugarcoat it. We marinate it to look good, but deep down, we know what is pushing us to want to go. Because by the time you're deciding to start looking for a new job, it means you're not satisfied with the current job. If you choose to stay, will you be satisfied, or will you just be increasing your level of trauma for a longer period? And at times we're just scared of trying things out there because it is more comfortable when we are here. We've known this organization for various years. We've tolerated a lot. We know when things are high and when things are low, when we have stresses and when we don't have. We've always learned how to survive. However, for how long are you going to survive? And again, you will never grow if you stay in comfort zone. The method in which you've gotten this new offer, if it is purely based on merit, where you are subjected to an interview, nobody probably recommended you, you just found an application on LinkedIn or on the company website, you sent your application and the HR of the new organization was impressed with your resume and they interviewed you. So you went through the various interviews and you were successful. That one, you've gotten the job purely on merit, purely based on your qualifications and the favor of God. In other instances, it may be a referral where I've worked with Jane, so I know what she's capable of delivering. So you do not even have to subject her to an interview. In case of anything, ask me. I'll be responsible because I've seen what she can do for the various years I've worked with her. In other institutions, especially the government, you will not just get a job. You may be the best qualified with your degree, with your master's, with various years of experience, but you still don't get the job. Someone else who just has a diploma or a certificate and they've just come from school with zero experience, but because their father is related to the governor of a particular county, they are placed in the maybe treasury, or they are placed in a particular office in the county department. They may not know the job well, and they may also be arrogant. They are not willing to learn because you are brought to this job. You didn't qualify for the job, you were placed. That is a risk because a time may come, the way you are placed is just the way you are going to be removed. Some people even have to zip down. You have to remove your clothes for someone to give you a job. So if you do not continue bending your roles when you get this new job, they are likely to see you as someone who will blast them or defame them, and that the easy it came is the easy it will go. Okay, I don't know whether that one is grammatically correct, but probably most of the times we say things that come very fast also go very fast, and things that take longer time to come last longer. So if you used a shortcut to get your job, the same shortcut might be used to let you go. So as you consider taking that new job, how have you gotten it? What are the chances you will lose it in the near future? You may live here because it's a little bit uncomfortable, but wherever you are going is more hectic. The woman there, the boss or the leader you're going to find there is just unbearable, and it is the reason most people are resigning. I think those are the things you need to consider when taking a counter offer. Weigh both sides. It is purely a personal decision. We can only give opinions and using our own experiences. We have people who have taken those counter offers and it ended up being successful. They tell you, I've stayed in this organization for 15 years. I've grown from an intern. I came in this different organization, different department. I was changed to this department. I've moved from an intern to a contract person, to a junior accountant, to an accountant, a senior accountant, and now I'm the finance manager of this organization. So using that trend, in the next 5 years, I might be the CEO of this organization. So someone like that will easily reject the new offer and accept the counter offer the current employer is giving because they have seen growth. However, you may stay in one organization for 7 years and you're still in the same position you have been, maybe a junior position since you joined. It's not like your employer has not been knowing what you are capable of delivering. But people like free things, so they're trying to take advantage of you. And the moment you threaten you want to resign, they are now willing to give it to you. In such a case, never accept such an offer. Resign knowing you do not want to stay anymore. Because your value has not been appreciated in the past. So why should you beg? Never find yourself in a position where you have to beg for something. You have to threaten your employer you're leaving so that they can promote you. But if you do not threaten, they will never offer to you. They'll just beat around the bush, giving you excuses from 0 to 100. So be careful. Be very careful on accepting those counter offers. That has brought me to the end of this video. And thank you so much for watching up to this far. I really appreciate those of you who take your time to watch my content from the beginning to the end, especially the Premier Gang. I also like engaging with you people on the comment section. And I'm happy to say we are now at 350 subscribers. We just began the road to 400. So if this career content inspires you, or it challenges you in one way or the other, please consider supporting my work by giving me a thumbs up and also subscribing. Until next time, it has been fun. It's been amazing. I love you all. Let's keep connected. Adios.